Hey there, Riverica here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with us and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring what the Sagittarius Moon, May 2023, has to share with us about how to move forward, minding our business in the highest love and light. But before that, some disclaimers. I am not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I'm a fortune teller. So what I share is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I offer does not determine your future. Only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting into beauty. This reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, emotions, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. All that said, let us clear the space for the reading. And thank you for holding the intention of seeing only love, and only love we shall see. And here we go. Thank you so much. Mind, body, speech in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. My hair is awakened from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om. Peace. Shanti. Thank you. And we rolled a 4 to get the Cali Oracle by Elena Fairchild and illustrated by Jimmy Manton. And that 4 may be helpful moving through the Sagittarius Moon through the next month. And you can look up the numerology on your own to see what resonates with you, because we are all different psychosocial science experiments, and what resonates for you may be different than me. And to help make this reading more meaningful for you, I enjoy inviting you to explore more for yourself. But off the top of my head, I would say grounded, solid, stable, creating solid foundations, even if people are pulling on you energetically, physically, emotionally. And so that is something super special. That number, that numerology, to help us play through our loss and trauma, to live the life we want to live, especially for orphans and adoptees who have people pulling on us energetically, emotionally, physically in so many cases. And that's not going to resonate with everyone. So you can take that as it resonates. And we also have the moss agate is the crystal I was drawn to share for the Sagittarius Moon. And this is a beautiful healer stone. But again, I invite you to explore more on your own. 4, 5, 6, 27 different sources to see what resonates with you about this moss agate. That may help you play through this next month. And so without further ado, let's jump in. You are a whole, full, loving spirit, powerful spiritual being, and so am I. And we thank your source, spirit team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints, sages, gods, goddesses, universes here in the highest love and light, as well as mine. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. Heartily, we are grateful. So it was, and so it was, and so it was, and so it was. So let us see what popped out. Oh my. Kalaratri, 32. Such a beautiful card. There's a beautiful breeze coming in. Speaking of beautiful. check that out for a minute before I read. And this Kali Oracle has about 4 parts. The introduction, the conclusion, an invocation, and an explanation. So I invite you to settle in for that. And you can come back in any time during the month to further activate or integrate this reading, or whenever you are seeing this. And the number 32, the 3 is a number of optimism. It brings a beginning and an end together. And that number 2 helps create healthy liaisons, balances relationships, represents that duality. And they add up to a 5, which helps us go any direction at will, promotes and progresses, creates a space for decision making, and so much more. I invite you to explore more on your own about that 32 and the 5, the 3 and the 2. So Kalaratri, she appears beneath the cloak of night, revealing the truths that must be known to set the heart free. She offers you an opportunity to engage in a profound and enduring transformation. This will lead to a powerful rebirth, free from even the most persistent patterns or pains of your past. Your soul is in deep healing. Recovery can be painful, but that pain is temporary, and you will emerge renewed and released. In time, you will greet your rising destiny from an entirely new and improved inner foundation. You are blessed to experience a quote-unquote new life within this lifetime. Wow, that's intense, and especially for orphans and adoptees coming out of the fog, stepping out of that old narrative and stepping into their own narrative, one that is ever unfolding for them, of course, for all of us, but yet for orphans and adoptees, so often their story has been silenced. And so those who it is their journey to free their voice, to free themselves, to come out of the fog, to come out of that fog, have a rebirth. They change into a totally new person. And I myself am going through this process, even just starting this channel and being able to speak my truths and learning how to speak my truths, and truths that have been repressed and hidden and shunned or shut down by others, and then maybe also by myself, in that adoption and relinquishment situation. And it's a whole thing. You think at a certain age, oh, well, of course, you know how to speak your truth, but that isn't the truth. So many of us are unable to even begin to access our own truth until middle age or late adulthood. Maybe not so many of us. You can take it as it resonates, but so it is a phenomenon that occurs for orphans and adoptees coming out of the fog and beginning again. And that's not something that happens when they're 3 or when they're an adolescent or when they're in 20s or 30s even, so often. Because we're going through the other different developmental stages, just trying to make sure we have what we need. And then perhaps by late adulthood, middle adulthood, some of us realize, wow, okay, I have all these pieces in place, but I'm operating on somebody else's truth. I'm running myself by somebody else's story, that this adoption is for the best, or that these gypsy myths are really the way and so beautiful, and I'm trading them in for adoption realities or for Roma realities. And those are just 2 examples. There's so many across fields ways this plays out for orphans and adoptees, and even those who resonate with orphans and adoptees, maybe divorced or you've lost parents through death and disease. There's so many different ways that this plays out, that people feel this loss and trauma, and that people can relate. And so this Kalaratri is offering us a rebirth, and that is super sweet and so right on time, especially with these eclipses and the work we've been doing during the pandemic and the past couple decades, perhaps even the past couple lifetimes. So right on time. And so we have support in that challenging task. So the goddess Kalaratri appeared when a warrior violated the rules of law and violently assaulted enemy troops resting under cover of night. She appeared in terrible form, making sounds that expressed her horror at the suffering taking place. This is the weeping and wailing Black Madonna. No matter how people try to cover up what is happening, glossing over things with cleverly manipulative words, she is the truth witnessed and laid bare. For those who have been cajoled or coerced to deny their intuition and authentic experience, Kalaratri breaks through the quote-unquote crazy making and brings us into the truth of what is happening. She brings the relief of truth, even when it is difficult to bear. She breaks open toxic systems and reveals deceptive behaviors. In unmasking the terror of what has happened or what is still happening, we become able to disconnect from sources of abuse so we can begin to heal the trauma. That which is not acknowledged can never heal, but is doomed to be repeated. The acknowledgement of Kalaratri is not an intellectual understanding, but a bone-deep agony of release. It is like pulling the thorn out of a lion's paw. It hurts, but it is the way that leads to healing, rather than the hurt that would come from trying to ignore the thorn and dealing with increasingly negative consequences. The name Kalaratri literally translates as quote-unquote Black Night, a time that is sacred and honored with celebration in the Hindu tradition. It is also an emanation of the goddess Kali herself. In that sense, Kali is our dark night of the soul. In the Hindu scriptures, Kalaratri is known as the dark night of the final dissolution, the formal and absolute ending of something that no longer needs to be. She signifies that there is no going back. She is the spiritual solvent into which we, as we have known ourselves and experienced our agonies, can dissolve. On the spiritual path, to go through a dark night of Kalaratri is considered a protective and enveloping experience. Here, we can be held in a psychic container that allows us to dispense with all we have been working through or are holding on to. It is where we try to figure it out and just let it all go, similar to what happens during sleep. During the quote-unquote spiritual sleep of Kalaratri, we drop the ego and intellect and allow for the divine reorganizing and healing power of the sacred feminine to work its restorative magic. Energies are processed and cleared away. From her, as the cosmic womb, we can then be recreated, reborn. The oracle brings a message of total change, of a need to let go of what has been so that a new form can be established. You will not know what the new form is going to look like, just as you do not know what you will dream of before you go to sleep, nor in what state you will awaken the following morning. As you enter into the spiritual sleep, you cannot know all that will happen. Yet this is Kali, so we can trust. Sleep only comes when we let go. So too, this deep and restorative spiritual surrender can only happen when we are willing to let go of our attachment to what has been. This form of the goddess is said to ward off dark entities, ghosts, or spirits, and the negative energies as they all flee upon her arrival. The sanctuary of night and all it entails, such as coming face to face with our fears and through that releasing them, is a temple for healing with the goddess. So the many gifts of Kalaratri include increased fearlessness and freedom. The oracle guides you to trust in her protection and her promise that under her guiding hand, you shall become all you are destined to be. So powerful, so intense, so perfectly timed, wonderfully timed, synchronistically timed, especially with this eclipse we had with this full moon on the 5th of May, the lunar eclipse, and facing our fears. Maybe it's a fear of stepping into our power, or maybe it's a fear of failure. Whichever, maybe it's both. We're facing them now. We're facing them. Kelly's helping us face them, and this is so wonderfully timed. Beautiful reminder of the support of Callie and just how intense it is to start anew, to rebirth yourself, to detach, for example, to detach from the adoption fairy tale, to come out of the fog, and all that entails, from perhaps cutting ties with families to your whole life changing, your values changing, your standards changing, your circles of people who you interact with changing, and what fearlessness it takes to walk that path, and to walk the healing path, and to no longer sweep under the carpet that loss and trauma, but to heal it, to make that daily effort to love yourself and take care of yourself in a way that only you can, and putting yourself first instead of submitting to put yourself aside for the needs of other people. That has played out in so many different ways through time and space, and so fearless of those choosing to walk the path or thinking about choosing to walk the path. And Kelly is helping us with this transformation, and that, you know, she honors the depths of what you've worked through, and also allows that space for you to unfold into something new. And so that is super sweet to be held on both, in all aspects, both ends of that spectrum. Is it a spectrum? I'm not so sure. So the invocation ritual. Say the following prayer. Jai Ma Kali, Dark Mother of the Black Night, Cosmic Womb of Kalaratri, I honor you, the divine dissolution, the ending necessary to yield promised fulfillment. My trust in you is unconditional. I openly acknowledge my suffering and give voice to the agonies that I have experienced, with intention only to release all of it to you. Bless me with the courage of your honesty to attain complete release. What I have known is less than a drop in the cosmic divine nature. What I have known is less than a drop in the oceanic divine nature that you are awakening within me. I cross the threshold into your healing darkness of unknowing. Here I rest for as long as needed, gently and lovingly dissolving into your being until I am ready to be birthed anew. May all beings feel your love and know your beautiful liberation. Jai Ma Kali. Rest now, perhaps in a darkened room, or with a lightweight cover resting comfortably over your eyes to reduce the light. Be in the space of not knowing for a while. Know that it is okay, that it is part of the journey. Give yourself permission to return to this space as often as you need. There will be a time when you no longer need it, but for now, be here with trust. When you are ready to emerge, complete the practice with your hands in prayer at your heart. You have completed your healing process. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much, Source. Thank you so much, those of you who are sharing this space and opening yourself up to this healing path. We are so grateful, and what a sweet reminder that we can lean on Callie to share that heartbreak. You know, sometimes it's challenging to share our heartbreak. Part of it is the challenge of just verbalizing it, and another challenge is it's difficult for people to hear. So many people have their own stuff going on that it's really difficult for other people to hear another person vent out theirs as well. And so to honor that vent has a special sacred place that you can take it. You can take it to Callie. Callie can hear it. Callie can hear what you have to say, all of it. Even that you wouldn't dare utter to anyone else. And she can help you transform that and create that space for the next steps. And she understands that that part of you expressing your voice is not an indication of who you are or your character, but that you are working through this and transmuting these violent cycles into love to get to the other side. And whereas other people, other earthly people, may not have that understanding. They may hear you and your heartbreak and judge you for it and tell you things like you should be more grateful instead of understanding, or they may call you rude instead of being more understanding. And so Callie offers you that space to share it all, the bits and pieces that so many humans can't bear, and the understanding that to really come into your authentic voice, there's that process, and to honor that process and to help you get to the other side and learn really what it is that's inside of you. Not just the loss and the trauma, but your heart, your spirit, your soul. And she helps uncover that. And that's just such a sweet reminder, especially for all of us who are learning how to use our authentic voice and who have been silenced and trying to speak up, come across in ways that have been judged, or perhaps we've come across violently and we've been judged for that, and not meaning to, but learning how to use our voice and process our loss and trauma and transmute it into love. And what a beautiful, beautiful reading for the Sagittarius Moon to help us move through minding our business in our highest love and light, especially with the eclipses happening and what we've been moving through in the past couple of years. So thank you so much for helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.